Now, let's talk about Pac-Man. Ah yes, Pac-Man, one of the biggest gaming icons and an arcade hit. Even if you don't play video games, chances are you still know who Pac-Man is and how the game plays. Of course, with popular games come sequels like Super Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man, which wasn't even developed by Namco employees. However, while Pac-Man was successful in the arcades, there really hasn't been a huge hit game on home consoles. That's not to say Pac-Man hasn't gotten any love. After all, he is a playable character in Super Smash Bros. 4, and is honestly one of my favorite new characters, as he does a pretty good job at kicking some ass. So, what I'm gonna do is take a look at the Pac-Man games released on the PlayStation 2. Keep in mind, I won't be talking about the arcade collection games during this little marathon, mostly because I don't yet know how to approach those. So, I'll only be talking about Pac-Man Fever, Pac-Man World 2 and 3, and ending things with Pac-Man World Rally. Speaking of which, Pac-Man Fever is not only a song, but is also apparently a video game that was developed by Mass Media Inc. and was published by Namco. Honestly, if I hadn't even looked this game up, I never would have even known it existed. But it turns out it's a party game. So that leaves us with the question, is Pac-Man Fever worth playing? Despite this being a party game, there is in fact a story. It seems there are some Namco characters hanging out at what could be a Namco studio, when suddenly the ghost steals some trophy. What's the significance of the trophy? I don't know, but apparently it's important to Pac-Man and his friends because they start chasing the ghost for it. But the ghosts manage to get away, so in order to get the trophy, everyone has to compete against each other in a series of games. Okay, so yeah, the story is stupid, even for a party game. I mean, come on, you have Heihachi and Astaroth with you. For fuck's sake, just ask them to knock down the door, and it'd be like asking them to get you some sugar. I really don't see why a door should prevent you from being able to get this trophy that for some reason is very important. Aside from that nitpick, yeah, the story still sucks, which I'm okay with since the story isn't important to the game. To me, it's just an unnecessary part of the game, that at the very least could have been better. Like I mentioned before, Pac-Man Fever is a party game and is a very basic one at that. Your two biggest options for play are either playing on the boards or just playing the minigames. The lack of variety doesn't stop there, as you can only play on 3 different boards that are space, tropical, and medieval themed. At least there's some variety with the characters, as you can choose from 6 of them, most of whom come from different Namco games, like Astaroth from the Soul Calibur games, Heihachi and Tiger from Tekken, Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man from, well, the Pac-Man games, and lastly, someone named Ryoko from the Rigid Racer games. Okay, honestly, I have never heard of the last one here. It's a shame that the boards weren't based off of different Namco games, which actually would have been awesome. Oh well, opportunity missed, I guess. When you play on a board, you can choose if you want to play a short, medium, or long game, which simply adjusts how long the game board is itself. No matter the length, the boards are simply a linear path that leads to the goal. At the start of each turn on the board, there will be a minigame that will determine how many spaces everyone will be able to move. The better you do in the minigame, the further you get to go. There are all kinds of different spaces that you can land on, and a quick side note here, only one character can be on a space at a time, so if you end up on someone else's space, you'll get moved ahead. Some spaces will move you forward or backwards, others will give you some tokens or have you play a special minigame to earn some tokens. Then of course you have store spaces to spend your tokens to help you or hurt some of the other players, and challenge spaces where you can compete against someone else in order to win some more tokens. The worst spaces are the ghost and revenge spaces. Ghost spaces will rob you of some of your tokens, which isn't awful, but it's still nice to have those tokens, while the revenge spaces are specially designed to start fights amongst players. Should you land on a revenge space, then you can choose anyone, and I mean anyone you want, to have lose half their tokens. The reason you'll want tokens is so that you can buy some raffle tickets, as the last 3 spaces before the goal are where the raffles occur, and if you win the raffle, you get a special ticket that is used to buy minigames in the minigame section. Oh yeah, and if you get first place on that board, you'll also get a special ticket, but you'll need to get first place in the minigame for that turn before you can actually reach the goal space. And honestly, that's the whole point of the game. Save up enough of these special tickets to buy all the minigames and, well, there you go. Speaking of the minigames, they really aren't all that great. Some are really simplistic, like and are at best okay, but others suck and have awkward controls like that damn ball blowing minigame. I hate you, Tiger. Not only that, but there are minigames that only appear on certain boards, which is fine, but some of these minigames are just reskins of others, and if that wasn't enough, there's also a very small amount of minigames to begin with. Personally, I wouldn't recommend a long play, since by the time you get halfway through the board, you'll probably have played all the minigames you'll encounter, and things will only start to feel rather repetitive. Aside from that, there really isn't too much to talk about with this game. Like I said, it's very simplistic. Alright, let's just get this out of the way. This game doesn't look very good. For me, it has less to do with the graphics and has more to do with the art style. It's an awkward mix of a cartoon-like style with a more realistic looking style. I mean, we have more cartoon-looking Pac-Man and Mrs. Pac-Man and the Ghosts, yet more realistic-looking game boards with elephants and buildings that just don't fit with each other. Again, it's just awkward and unpleasant to the eyes. Oh, and of course we have the human characters like Tiger and Astaroth, who just look weird and honestly don't have very great character models. Just take a look at Heihachi's model in Tekken 3 compared to this game. It's pretty bad. It's not just how the models look, it's also how janky and uncanny the animations are. Then we have the boards that, sure, have some stuff going on them, but they feel so bland and empty. I get that the boards are meant to be like studios, but the objects on the boards feel like they were just placed in random locations and really lack much immersion for me. The game is just a visually unappealing mess. Then there's the music, which is alright. Most of it consists of some interesting remixes of the original Pac-Man theme, and they're okay. If I had to choose a favorite, I would go with the space theme, but it's nothing you really need to hear. So, would I recommend Pac-Man Fever? The song? Yeah, sure, but the game? No. I wouldn't say that this is an awful party game, but it's certainly not a very fun one. Having the boards be linear is fine if the minigames were more diverse, fun, and if there was just more of them. Not only that, but having special spaces or gimmicks on certain boards would have also helped. If you had 3 friends over and were getting drunk, then yeah, this could be a decent way to waste an hour, as long as you only play a short or medium game. Aside from that, you should just skip this game. There are far better party games for the PlayStation 2, but we'll have to talk about those some other day. Besides, next time we'll be talking about a very different kind of Pac-Man game. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this review and found it to be rather informative. If you'd like to see more reviews, please check out my channel. And please don't forget to subscribe. And if there are any other PS2 games you'd like to see me review in the future, please leave a suggestion down below. Well, I'm MCB the PS2 Gamer, and I'll see you guys next time.